Hi, I'm Mike Becker, Executive Vice President of PIA National. I'm here with Jon Gentile, our Vice President of Government Relations, and we are talking flood insurance, specifically the National Flood Insurance Program, or the NFIP for short. So Jon, give us an update. What's going on with the NFIP?
So it's been a busy time here in Washington this summer working on flood insurance. The NFIP will expire on July 31st, just less than 2 weeks from today, right around the corner, unless Congress acts to either pass a long-term reauthorization or extend it on a short-term basis. It's currently operating on its sixth short-term extension already in this cycle. So what Congress needs to do is that there have been several bills introduced over the last few days to pass it on a short-term basis. Congress has not come together on an agreement on a long-term reauthorization for a variety of reasons, which PIA supports a long-term reauthorization with needed reforms. But because Congress, the House and the Senate have not come to agreement on such a bill, they need to pass this or else the NFIP will lapse July 31st.
And that, by the way, means no new policies are being written.
No new policies are being written.
Home sales are affected.
Over 20,000 communities across the country.
Right.
Over 5 million policies will be left in jeopardy. You can't add on to a current policy, things like that. So it really does have a real effect for both potential policyholders and current policyholders.
So one of the things that we've been doing at the staff level is Jon and his colleagues in his department have been working with the Hill every single day, advocating for PIA members to not only avoid a lapse, but preferably get a long-term extension through. If we can get an extension into 2019, that'll give a new Congress the opportunity to work on some many needed reforms to the programs. But that's what national staff are doing. There's something that you, a PIA member, can do as well, which is participate in our grassroots programs, Jon. So what's our grassroots program?
So our grassroots program is sending email action alerts, grassroots action alerts out to PIA members across the country, asking them to take a few seconds, literally takes a few seconds with our software that we have for you to use, that sends a pre-prepared message that you can edit. We want you to edit it. In fact, we encourage that.
Tell your story.
But yeah, exactly. Tell your story about being a flood agent or any kind of experience you've had with flood insurance. So it's all there, right there for you to send. You just put in your address and you send that into your congressional office. It asks for your address. We prefer a home address so that it's going to the right House member and your senators. That's why we need that information. But it all takes a few seconds of your time, and it makes a real impact when you send that into congressional offices. Whether it's staff or the member themselves, they literally count up how many messages they get on a particular topic. Staff brief the chief of staff and the member themselves to see do constituents in their district or in their states care about this issue. And if they don't hear from their constituents, they just most of the time assume that it's not important to them. So while we're laying the groundwork here in Washington, D.C., it's important for their constituents, you, to take a few seconds, few minutes, if you want to add to the message, and send those alerts in. It makes a real difference here in the advocacy work in Washington.
And as Jon said, it's really easy to do so. You can click the link below. It'll take you right to our grassroots webpage with the alert, the pre-written alert there that is fully customizable. You add whatever changes, if any, you want to it, you hit send, and it goes right to the member of Congress's office. And the impact it can make, if we have hundreds or thousands of agents carrying a similar message, as Jon said, it goes right to the member of Congress.
And the message is clear. It's asking Congress to pass an extension beyond July 31st, a clean, straightforward extension of the National Flood Insurance Program so that it does not lapse, and so that we're not dealing with some reforms now and then some reforms later. Right. We want to save that for a long-term reauthorization of the program. So again, the message is just a clean, straightforward extension of this program before July 31st.
Right. And as the staff here who are communicating with Congress on a daily basis make a real impact on, as Jon said, laying the groundwork for this sort of advocacy, really nothing beats you, the constituent, taking a few minutes of your time to get in touch with the member of Congress. That carries a significant amount of weight here, especially when you're joined by hundreds or thousands of other PIA members across the country participating in this. So a lot going on in the next 2 weeks on flood insurance as this program is set to expire on July 31st. Hopefully we can avoid that, but that's not all, Jon. Anything else going on in the Hill?
So the Senate and the House have both passed their own versions of the Farm Bill, which includes crop insurance, which is so important to farmers throughout the country and to insurance agents who sell this very complicated product. So because they have different versions, they're convening something called a conference committee, and they're completing the details of that this week, and then the House and the Senate will come together the conferees and work together to find common ground so they can agree on one bill that would then have to go past the House and the Senate again. So we're kind of getting to the end of the line here on crop
This
insurance.
point is a huge step forward in this process.
Huge step forward in this process. We're almost at the end. Some items need to be worked out, certainly, in that committee, but we're confident that can be done. And concerning timeline, it's really up to the conferees, but we're hopeful that throughout the next few weeks we can get this done.
All right, we're talking the middle of America crop insurance. Take us international. What's going on in international
So
insurance?
internationally, we've been pleased to see a bill that we helped develop over a few years, introduced and sponsored by Congressman Sean Duffy of Wisconsin and Congressman Denny Heck of Washington State. They came together in a bipartisan bill to pass the International Insurance Standards Act, which will give Congress and us a voice on these international negotiations taking place over in Europe or wherever they may be that can impact the U.S. domestic insurance market. We want to ensure that state regulators have the final say in their states concerning insurance regulation. And so we are very supportive of that bill. That bill has passed the House, and in fact, it's been folded into a larger package that will give it a better chance of becoming law this Congress. So all eyes are on the Senate with that issue, and we'll be working on that over the coming days and weeks and months to get it done before this Congress ends.
So much for a quiet summer. There's a lot going on in Washington right now, but we need your help, starting with clicking on that link below to send a grassroots alert to Congress on flood insurance. You can get in touch with anyone on staff here by or through our website, but also just by commenting below. Any questions that you have for John or any of his colleagues in his department that we can address, comment below. Let us know how we can help you or answer your questions. And thank you for being a PIA member, and thank you for what you do every single day to help your insureds. Have a great day.